right. Well, welcome everybody again to another HOWL Wildlife Photography photo stream. Great to see everybody today, May 31st, the last day of May. Tomorrow, if you could believe it, is June. And yes, summer is arriving. I think it is. All right, I'm Bongo, your host, one of the co-organizers of the HOWL Wildlife Photography Convention. Steve Dunsford, the co-owner of HOWL, will also be here at the live stream here today. He'll be wrapping up our presentation. Up first, we're going to be hearing from Susan Oling, and then after that, we're going to be hearing from Richard Mann, and then, like I said, Steve Dunsford will be wrapping up our presentation today. Our theme today is honoring Algonquin Park. Algonquin Park is the love of all of our lives. We love the park so much, and it brings us together, it inspires us, and it keeps us coming back, and it just gives us so much life. So we wanted today's stream to just be to capture that spirit of giving to Algonquin Park and to honoring it. And so without further ado, let's go and see what Susan has for us here today. Susan, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
All right, let's get you up here on the screen, and I can see you. I hope the audience can see you as well. How are you doing today?
I'm great.
Awesome.
Yes, I was looking forward to this.
Yes, and we were so looking forward to having you to not only display your images, but to also speak and narrate and give us the stories behind your images as well. So we're so stoked to have you here today. And this is your first HOWL photo stream as well that you're participating in, correct?
Yes, it is.
Awesome. You've watched almost all of them as well, right?
Yeah,
we've enjoyed your participation. We've enjoyed your comments, and which brings me to say that if you're sitting out there in the audience and you have any questions for the presenters, or if you just have some comments to add, don't hesitate to type it right into the chat.
For sure. Yes,
all right.
I will.
Excellent. And so so we're gonna start off with your honoring Algonquin presentation with the seasons. What is the first season? Of course, it's winter. And I hope that you can see the first. Can you see the first image that you've got anywhere there?
No.
I don't know if
I can't.
If you have maybe on your mobile phone, if you just load the presentation on your mobile phone, and that way.
All right, let me go grab it.
Yeah, no problem at all. Well, I can see it here. We're going to start off with Susan's winter imagery first, and then of course that's going to take us into.
Yeah, so sorry about this. I thought that
don't
one of these. Yeah.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it at all.
I'm just all new to this. All right, so do I need to go, I guess, to my email?
No, just go to the Facebook HOWL page.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
And then you can just follow along with the live stream there. So there's going to be a little bit of a delay. So the Google Meet that we're on right now, that's pretty much real time. But the live stream is about 20-second delay, or maybe about 10 seconds delay.
Okay. All right. So I'm on the page. Okay, there it is.
Can you see it?
Great. Yeah, I can see it.
Great. Super. So just keep your mobile muted. Because you're going to be having all the audio in your headphones here. But yes, why don't you kick us off here with the first image that we've got?
Okay. A beautiful, cold, crisp winter morning in Algonquin. A good friend of mine, we just decided to go for a nice leisurely drive. And I was just so impressed. This was actually the time just after the big ice storm.
Oh, yeah.
When they had all that freezing rain, and so there was still trees along the south side of the highway that had all this amazing ice. Now this image doesn't quite portray it, but it was mostly the shadows and the highlights with the snow and of course the early morning golden light, and it was just fantastic.
Yeah. It's truly another world, right?
Yes.
Especially when
Yes.
the ice storms can be devastating, but they can just leave some of the most surreal sculptures behind, right?
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah. So,
All right. We're going to go on to our
okay.
second winter scene here.
Okay. Where did it go? Hello.
Do you see it?
Sorry. No, okay. Yes, yes. Richard will definitely appreciate this image because he was with me at the time. So I believe it was February, right, Richard? It was a freezing, freezing cold morning.
Yeah, I
but
think that sounds about right. It was February and freezing
yes,
cold.
yes, and we were at Found Lake where the art center is,
Yeah.
and we enjoyed that absolutely glorious sunrise with the mist coming off the lake, and we also experienced something really really cool because the bird is going to be featured in the wildlife images, and it was a raven who came right up, and he was not even like 3 feet away from us,
Wow.
and he just didn't fly away. He just sat there, and that beautiful again sunlight coloration was all on his feathers, and I was just standing there in awe. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was absolutely amazing. Yeah.
Wow. Wow. And sorry, this was a sunrise or a sunset?
This was a sunrise.
This
yes.
is a sunrise. Wow. I was just going to
Yes.
say,
Yeah.
sunrises are beautiful, but I'm a night owl, so I have a lot of trouble catching them.
You have to learn how to get up at stupid o'clock, Bongo.
What's your tip?
Right,
Do you have
Richard?
any advice for me?
Well, I know myself at my age, I just don't sleep anymore. But when it comes to getting up in the morning, sunrises and the birth of a new day, as I call it,
Yeah.
is so worth it.
Yeah.
So worth it.
1,000%. Well, Wendy's on here, and Wendy says, beautiful shot.
Thanks, Wendy. Okay. All right. So this next one is a friend of mine who had never really experienced a really beautiful snowy day. And I said to her, I says, tomorrow we're going into the park. And at that time, you could have access to the Mizzy Lake shortcut trail. So this is what we are on right there.
Nice.
And so we just had this most beautiful morning, with the snow falling gently. And of course, she also had the experience of having 2 gray jays on her hands. So she stretched her arms out to both sides of her, and 2 gray jays landed on her hands. And she was just like screaming. And I said to her, don't scream, you're going to scare the birds away. But anyway, yeah. So
Yeah.
this was an image that I captured as she was walking ahead of me. And I the reason I love it so much, it's almost like a selective focus style of shot where everything is in black and white except for her gold.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, you're
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
You're right. And that's the thing.
And that's natural. I did not do that in post-processing.
Right.
So that's why I was amazed with it, because I thought, holy cow, I didn't even do anything to that.
Yeah.
And this is what happened. Yeah.
So cool. So cool. Love that. And hey, a lot of us have an affinity for that trail, of course, right? Because it's just gifted us with so many amazing moments.
It has.
And
It
photographs too.
Yes, for sure.
Wendy's chiming in here saying, I'm with you there, Bongo. I prefer the nighttime as well. So, all right. That's why Wendy and I get along well. Yeah, we're both night owls.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah.
Okay, so, but where in the park do we get the most glorious sunrises? Is at Fisherman's Point on Smoke Lake.
Yep.
I have images from that area for, at least going on 8 to 10 years now, as far as digital shots.
Yeah.
And of course, this one was pretty amazing, but there was one that Richard and I and a friend of ours who we were on, again, one of these moosing weekends.
Yeah.
And there was just 4 of us at the time. And all 3 of us were just, jumping up and down almost like little kids, because the sky was constantly changing. The coloration was just constantly changing. And our other friend, who of course just had a little point and shoot.
Yeah.
Kept kind of pacing around and saying, well, aren't you guys finished yet? You know, because she wanted to go look for moose.
Ah.
But anyway, and like Richard said, we could have stayed there for at least another half hour, right, Richard? Because the sky was still changing. It hadn't finished. It's
I'm guessing it could have been another hour at least.
Yeah.
How slow the sky was changing.
Yeah, she would have definitely got in her car and drove away, or whoever car we had. But anyway, it was just we just couldn't leave. It was just, you know, one of those super magical moments that you want to capture every second of it. So
right, and it's so surreal because it changes every couple minutes, right? The colors change, the quality of the light changes, the shadows get deeper, and it just never mind
especially
the moose. Right. yeah Oh, good stuff.
Anyway, but Richard was a late arriver that morning when we were doing that shot, right, Richard?
Yeah,
you got there just in time.
I've got a shot of that morning on my presentation as well.
Oh, okay, so you can tell the story then. Great.
All right.
Okay, so this is one of the Milky Way shots, right?
Yeah.
I believe this is the one, because on my phone it looks pretty small here. But anyway, I believe that's the one from Lake of Two Rivers.
Yeah.
Again, it was exactly on May 28th of last year.
Yeah.
And it's funny how we actually went out just the other day on May 28th again.
Yeah.
And captured it. And so again, just a beautiful, magical evening. We took a while to find the proper location that night, and in the process almost hit a huge bull moose. Oh my gosh, he was running on the left side of the highway, like on the opposite lane.
Yeah. And
then so when I hit my brakes, thank goodness he turned his head towards me, and instead of running across in front of me, he actually veered and went to the left, which saved me, because if he would have ran and crossed in front of me, I would have hit him, and that would have been goodbye, because he was so big he would have just came through my windshield. But anyway, besides that, catching the Milky Way is just always so thrilling.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Well, I live in Whitney, so I'm lucky in that if the night is clear and it's the right moon quality, then I can see the Milky Way. And I'm such a nature nut that I could not live somewhere where I could not see the Milky Way. I just for me to have that opportunity to see it, it just feeds my soul. So,
yes.
And
sure.
you know, us star chasers, that's what we're constantly looking for, right? Yeah. Wendy says, once in a while you see something that just takes your breath away and you just can't help to watch the events unfold. So true. Yeah. Ooh, are we looking at a misty beaver dam or something like that here in this one? Did Wendy freeze? I'm not sure if Wendy froze. Uh-oh. Oh no, I think Wendy froze.
You mean Susan?
Sorry, I'm so sorry. I mean Susan.
I can comment a little bit on the picture sort of thing while we wait till Susan hopefully gets back. I know the location that this was shot at. This is on the road to the to the back end of Mizzy. It's Arrowhead Road.
Yeah, is it? Okay. Yeah. Oh no, yeah, so we did lose Susan, but that's okay. Okay, and Wendy, I have to apologize. I'm sorry for confusing you with Susan. Please forgive me. And Richard, thank you for correcting me.
No worries.
You know, when these tech mishaps happen, all reason leaves the brain. But so sorry, you were saying that this is the Mizzy Lake area, Richard?
Yeah, well, it's on the drive down Arrowhead to the back end of the Mizzy Lake Trail.
Yeah.
You pass through two sections where there's little sort of areas where there's water beside you.
Yeah.
Well, this is the first section, and there's a bit of a beaver dam and the lower part of water, and then this is back, like the beaver dam and the upper part you can see in the picture.
Yeah.
And this is a sunrise shot. This is a nice location for sunrises.
Yeah. Cool. Okay, Wendy says it's my mom. I'll forgive you. Okay, great. So I'm forgiven. Okay, but you can understand why my brain went between Wendy and Susan, okay?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, well, you know what? Internet problems come up from time to time. I'm sure that Susan's probably trying to get back in here. What we could do is, Richard, do you want to segue into your presentation?
Absolutely. We can segue into mine, and then we'll get Susan back, and she can pop in.
Super. Wow. Everybody is so...
We can split off in between in and out. So, you know me, I'm pretty flexible that way.
Love it. Okay, that's music to my ears. Okay, let me just... I'm going to load up your presentation here. Richard, just a moment. Let me get this up here. Give me half a second here. We've still got Susan's image. We're gonna switch over to Richard's image number 1. It will show up right there. Super. And hold on just a second here. And I just want to make sure that we get your face pinned up here on our screen. So Susan, if you're out there, we hope to see you soon. We were just getting started with your beautiful photos. Wendy, if you can help her out, please do. Okay, but...
Bongo, I resent my photos, so hopefully you'll get them.
Okay, yeah, I will, you know what, now that let me just reset here. I can see them. Okay, perfect. No, that's great. Thank you for doing that, by the way. So when we get to your presentation, I'll have those loaded up for you. But
okay.
But in the meantime here, as we wait for Susan to reconnect, not Wendy. Wendy's one of our chatters here tonight. But yeah, let's hear about this photo. Richard, why don't you kick us off here?
So Susan mentioned a couple times there's a moosing weekend that a bunch of us get together for.
Yeah.
So about 10 years ago, Susan was doing this, and then I got added to it, and then eventually it's grown. So we usually have about between 8 to 10 people joining us on the weekend, where we go around to the weekend and just photograph what we can find in the park, sort of thing.
Cool.
And this is just a shot of Ligature Rivers from East Beach.
Yeah.
Sunsets. It looked like it was going to be a nice night, so we just grabbed the beach and just watched the sunset that night after we had finished trying to find all the moose that day.
Amazing.
Yeah, I love the colors you can get at sunrise and sunset. It's one of my favorite times to go. I've got more sunrises than sunsets. I'm an early riser opposed to a late nighter, but you do what you need to do.
Of course, yeah. Now, have you been an early bird since...
My entire life.
Your entire life? Wow.
Yeah.
I admire that.
So I've always been an early riser, so...
Very cool. Well, there's definitely I love sleeping in, but I feel like I really miss a lot when I sleep in.
There's always a difference between sunrise and sunset. Sunrises just are always so magical, and it's so quiet because no one's out there at that time.
Yeah, and
it's a very nice, peaceful, relaxing time for yourself.
Oh, totally. And let's be honest, the bird song is probably the best in the morning, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I think this was a cold morning at Found Lake.
Yeah.
So this is where like the art gallery in the park is.
Nice.
Looking just across Found Lake, it was just a freezing cold winter morning, and you got this nice light pillar from the sun starting to rise.
Yeah. Wow.
The light you get is magical.
Absolutely magical. Found Lake. Yeah, that's really cool that you head over to Found Lake. Do a lot of people go there?
I've seen a lot of shot. Like there's that set of trees that Susan mentioned before is quite iconic sort of thing. So
Yeah.
like I say, I've seen a lot of pictures of it, but not. Say usually it's more midday stuff, not a lot of sunrise sunsets.
Yeah.
And it's more of a sunrise location than a sunset location. So you may not get as much from that area because people aren't there for sunrise.
Right. Of course, yeah. Okay, so Wendy says mom lost all her internet and will not be able to continue. No way. Okay, well, you know what? We'll go through all of Richard's presentation. We'll cross our fingers and we'll hope that maybe magically she'll be able to join us later tonight. If she can't join us tonight, then you know what? We can finish the rest of your presentation at the next HOWL photo stream. So please let Susan know that yeah, if she can't continue today, we'll get her to start us off at the next photo stream. So, oh, that's too bad. I know how she was so excited today, and we were so excited to see her images and to hear from her. But that's anyways, Susan, if you're out there listening, we love you. Thank you for participating as much as you could. Sometimes these are things that are beyond our control, right? She's extremely sorry. That's no problem at all. No problem. We'll pick it up next time. We've got Richard here, and then after that we're gonna hear from Steve Dunsford. So, all right, back to you here, Richard.
So this was a shot as we were. I was with a friend, sort of just going in one morning to do some see wildlife and what we could get. And as we were driving in, there was this beautiful sunrise cloud formation on the that we saw on the road. So we pulled over and just got some shots of these beautiful clouds in the sky.
Yeah.
Say also with this shot just before it, I didn't include it in this presentation. There was a moose on the road. So we say we got this picture of the moose, and also there was there were some shots of the clouds in the sky, and a few of my shots as well. But I like the clouds alone sort of thing. That just kind of really spoke to me, and just the colors in that morning were just gorgeous.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. I'm a huge fan of the composition here as well. I love it when landscapes are framed with the tree line at the bottom, and then the main event is the sky, right?
Yeah,
I love that.
Yeah, so the sky just held it all, so you didn't need a whole lot of foreground in this instance.
Yeah. 1000%. Okay, let me hold on. Let me switch to the next one here. Wendy says I can send some images quickly to fill the time. Well, tell you what, Wendy. You know what? You feel free to email me some images to howlphotocon@gmail.com. I think you have my email address. Send them to me. We'll go through Richard. We'll go through Steve, and then if we have time to add you, Wendy, as an impromptu guest, then we can totally swing that. So yeah, thank you for your offer. We'll definitely take you up on that. But we'll see. We've still got all of Richard's here to go. But anyways, here we go with the next one. This is this is black and white, right?
This is black and white. Yeah, I converted this one to black and white. It's a backlit scene of the trees. This is on Tim Lake.
Really? This is on Tim Lake?
Yeah. So we a bunch of times, Susan and I and a bunch of us will go kayaking on the Tim River into Tim Lake, and one morning, just the light backlit on that, just highlighted the trees, and it screamed at me. It screamed at me black and white.
Yeah. Sometimes that's what you need. That's what really makes the image pop, is the black and white conversion. Yeah. Wendy says in all capital letters with 4 exclamation marks. I love that.
Thanks, Wendy.
I totally agree, and that's so cool. Now, did you see any moose when you were on the Tim River?
I have not seen moose on the Tim River at this point in time. I know they're there. Susan's seen them several times, but I've not been lucky enough at this point to catch any moose on the Tim River.
Yeah.
I have gotten some loons, and that's there is a picture of a loon coming up that's from the Tim River shot.
Okay, very cool. Very cool. Yeah, I love that Tim Lake. The island is almost in the shape of a shoe.
So this is Found Lake again.
Yeah.
I was up for I went out that morning, sort of not knowing what to expect because it was pretty cloudy.
Yeah.
And got to Found Lake, and I had this little opening sky with these dramatic clouds kind of rolling through, and I just grabbed the shot. It's one of my favorite shots I've taken so far.
Yeah.
I love the contrast of the light. These are the iconic trees I was talking about. It's sometimes called mother and daughter.
Yeah.
It's got the one big tree and the one little tree beside it.
Cool.
I love the contrast, the color. This is one of my favorite shots that I've taken.
So nice. Yeah. Now, are you handhelding here, or is this a tripod?
Oh, I'm guessing I've probably tripoded it. I usually, when I'm doing my landscapes and stuff like that, I typically try to tripod if I can.
Yeah. Well, because I was gonna say, I almost feel as if I'm gonna guess you used a slower shutter, maybe just because I feel like there's a bit of movement in the water, and of course the trees are very crisp. Perhaps
Say the movement. Say it may not have. Say the only thing, like say it's possible, but I think the movement in the water, just the fact that the clouds are rolling pretty well. So like say the trees might have just been, like say there might have been like a breeze across the lake, but I'm not hitting the trees at that point, sort of thing. So, but I say I can't 100% say which it is. Most landscapes I will typically go with a tripod myself.
Yeah.
Just depending on the situation. Like if it's quick sort of thing, I need to move quickly, I might have to handhold it, but
yeah.
And it's like on a kayak, yeah, no, when I'm doing on a kayak, there's no tripod.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I can hear from Susan here. Susan types in, "Can you see my messages?" Yes, Susan, I can see your messages. So weird. My laptop died, but not my desktop. But I cannot connect to the meeting. Oh no, really? I'll send you. Let me see if I can send you the link. You can't connect to the meeting.
She may not have a camera on her desktop.
Oh, that could be it. Yeah, good point. Okay, well, hey, you know what, Susan? I think it's so cool that you're joining us in the chat here. I feel terrible that the technical mishap has cut your presentation short, but I'm not sure if you heard me earlier. Okay, no, because I have no camera. No worries at all. The other option is you could join on your cell phone if you can figure that out. If you can figure out how to join the meeting on your cell phone, that could work. And then you can watch the presentation on your desktop. We can do it another date. Okay, you know what? We could do it another date, absolutely. So basically, we'll continue with Susan's presentation at our next Photo HOWL live stream. But yeah, for now, let's go back to Richard here. I'm very happy that we have two other guests here with some amazing photos. So, now this next photo, I'm gonna guess this is the sunrise. This is morning, maybe? Yeah, okay, I got it right.
Yeah, it's like, it's sunrise. This is on Mizzy Lake, at the back end of Mizzy Lake, one morning.
Nice.
And just the fog that was rolling in, it was just such a magical morning with the light that day.
No kidding. Yeah.
So I had a lot of people comment how much they liked this shot. So it was nice to hear.
Beautiful. That misty quality just always takes the breath away, right?
Oh, absolutely. It's just, I don't know. It's just something about that morning. It just felt so nice out there doing those shots.
Susan says, "Nice Gloria Wood. Richard does remind me of the Tim." Mm-hmm.
So this next shot is on Opeongo.
Nice.
So Turtle Rock is to my back, and this is pointing in the other direction.
Oh, okay. Yes. I can picture that.
Yeah. So again, sunrise shot. It was a stunning morning. I didn't know what I was going to expect. There's a frost over all of the vegetation. Got a nice mist and fog rolling through, and the clouds just lit up with that nice being hit by the sun first thing before it actually rose up sort of thing. So it was just a nice magical light that morning.
Yeah. Sorry, did you say that this is late fall or early winter?
This was last fall, so I think it was back October-ish that I took the shot. October.
Isn't that just wild that you can get that much frost in October?
Yeah. Could be beginning of November too. I say it was around that point. I'm pretty sure it was October, but it could have been like very beginning of November.
Yeah. Susan says, "Bongo, sorry, spell check changes my words. Our chat messages show it. I can totally, Susan, you're here right in the chat. We can see you very clear. And we're so happy that you're able to join us in the chat. if we can't have you present, then we can at least hang out with you in the chat, and I love that. Is that Turtle Rock?
That is Turtle Rock.
I got it right. Yes.
I got say that was from the same morning as well. I hadn't been there in the past where I had the clouds light up like that. And
yeah.
It was just a nice morning. I was able to get Turtle Rock with this magical light in the clouds. It just with the frost and everything. It was that morning was so glorious.
Beautiful.
When I get the shots that I got. It was just I was so happy that morning.
Beautiful. Is there a rock more famous than this rock along the Highway 60 corridor?
That rock, I think, is probably the most iconic of the Highway 60 corridor.
Right? It has to be. Like, what comes close? I can't really think of it.
So the only other iconic, there's kind of three kind of iconic points that I can think of on Highway 60 is Turtle Rock,
Yeah.
the island at Lake of Two Rivers, and Fisherman's Point.
That has to be the big three.
Those are the big three.
Yeah. Susan says, but that's not the real Turtle Rock. ... says the park staff. That's what Wesley told me. Now, I haven't been to Catfish Lake, but on Catfish Lake, I think there's something called Turtle Island. I don't know if it counts as Turtle Rock, but yeah, Susan, do you know where the other alleged Turtle Rock is located?
That is an easy access to Highway 60. That's what we're talking about.
Well, there you go. Yeah, is it? Okay, Wendy sent the files. Okay, awesome. We'll get through Richard's presentation here, and then if I can get those files on really fast, then you know what? We'll totally jump into it. So yeah, Wendy, stay on the line here, and we'll see if we can get you in here impromptu. I know it's up near Catfish. Yes, you are right. Okay, I am correct. Okay, great. And again, I haven't been to Catfish Lake, but on the Algonquin Park map, there is a little note that says, oh, this is Turtle Rock or Turtle Island. So I figured that might be the other one. Oh, okay. This is a sunset, I'm guessing.
Nope.
Ah, really?
Sunrise.
Wow.
Yeah. So this was one of the mornings of our moose hunting weekend.
Yeah.
And we this is just before the Lake of Two Rivers store. There's a little section of water there before that, and this is on that little bit of water that was swimming that morning.
Yeah. Susan says Mew Lake.
Okay, Mew Lake.
Yeah. Oh, and Wendy also says these are beautiful, and I wholeheartedly agree.
Thank you.
Great. Honoring Algonquin Park very, very, very well here. Isn't it so interesting how it's the dawn and the dusk? That's where you get the most dramatic landscape.
The dramatic lights.
Right?
Yep.
Right? Yeah.
So this is the sunrise that Susan was mentioning. That she had a shot here, and I said I had a shot of it as well. So this is my shot.
Yeah.
Her shot was a little earlier. I got there a little late that morning. So this was on the weekend that we did the moose hunt, but during the quarantine, where we couldn't actually get together for the what we usually do is get together and stay at a location and go and shoot.
Yeah.
A group of us just got together one morning to go shooting, and just did the one day.
Yeah.
So I arrived late because my alarm didn't go off and I was racing.
I thought you were a natural early bird.
I usually am, but that morning I just, for some reason, the alarm went off, and I think I just rolled over, smacked it off, and just didn't realize what was going on, and just when I woke up, it's like, oh crap, boom, and I'm driving to the park, and just watching this magic light sit there as I would just stay there.
Yeah. That's funny. Yeah. Okay, Susan says, oh, so now we hear the truth.
You guys knew that when I told you that I slept in and missed the alarm.
See, every picture has 1,000 words. Truly, it
That's
does.
Right.
Yeah. And Susan says, yes, it's all about the light. I completely agree. And if you think about it, photography at its core is all about light. That's literally what it's all about.
That's very true. Without light, we don't see much.
it's just a black image, right?
That's right.
I mean, and that's how your image sensor works, right? It works by the light. That's it. Yeah.
So, like I say, we mentioned the three iconic places. So we had Turtle Rock, we had the Fisherman's Local Point, and the island at Lake of Two Rivers is a shot.
Beautiful. Does that island have a name? Is it called something?
I think it's. I don't know if it's got an official name. I think it's just the island on Lake of Two Rivers. I don't think it's got an official name beyond that I know of.
Yeah. Beautiful image. Okay, I have to take a guess. Is this a sunset?
Nope.
Oh, I got it wrong again.
Those trees at the one point, you can't get those at sunset. You have to say from this angle to get those trees. It always is. Oh, you're going to be pointing east, so it's always going to be sunrise.
Oh, of course. Okay. Yeah. Of course. I should have guessed. You're okay. Now I can kind of imagine where you are taking this picture from. Yeah.
And to say the other thing that would have kind of clued you in is when I started my presentation, I said I do a lot more sunrise than sunsets.
So I should hedge my bets for a sunrise then.
That's correct.
Yeah. Susan's typing in, there's no name. I suggested a contest, but no one wanted to do. So there you go. Bongo, you need a compass, laugh out loud, says Susan. I know, I do need a compass. I know, I have to revisit everything I learned in Boy Scouts. Ooh, and I'm just going to zoom out a little bit here.
Yeah, this is a pano. I don't know about including it or not, but it should be okay.
Oh, yeah, of course. Oh, yeah, you could submit whatever you want in our photo streams. Go for it. Let's hear about it.
This is the Fisherman's Point on Smoke Lake.
Yes.
And
sunrise?
Sunrise, yep.
Okay.
Yeah, and just that morning, with the mist and stuff like that, I wanted to get a pano in there, and this was what I got.
Wow, the pinks and the purples, so cool. Okay, can I ask you, what do you use Lightroom to do your panels like this?
Yes.
You do?
Yes, I stitch it together in Lightroom. I've had fairly good success with it. I've even done a few HDR panos, sort of thing that seem to be working okay.
Cool.
But yeah, this is just a regular pano. It's not HDR.
Yes. Wow. And it almost had it definitely captures the high dynamic range, in my opinion.
Yeah, it turned out quite well. I love the contrast with the dark foreground with the tree, with the bright, nice, beautiful light behind it.
1000%. Yeah, Wendy says that is stunning. Susan says, oh gosh, I feel this one. And Susan also adds, I need to learn how to do that. Me too. I've only done panoramas on my cell phone. I have never stitched together my DSLR photos, but apparently Lightroom can do that for you. So,
yeah. Next time in Whitney, I can show you how to do it.
Yeah, and I mean, I have the new Lightroom. Like I get the monthly. Yeah. It's like the monthly subscription.
The monthly subscription, yeah.
Yeah. So I need to check that out. Oh, I gotta get on board with the mirrorless, and then I gotta get on with this. All the new super effects that Lightroom can do for you.
Yep, very true.
All right, let's go to our next one here. Yeah, so Susan, you and we need to brush up on some of our Lightroom skills here. Okay, I'm just gonna zoom in just a little bit here.
So we're moving from my sunrise sunsets to my night sky work.
Amazing. And of course, we have to honor the dark skies of Algonquin.
Of course, Algonquin's not a pure dark sky. It's one of the best spots for dark skies.
Yeah. Speaking of which, what would you consider to be a pure dark sky?
You've got to have an area where there's no light pollution around it, so no cities and stuff like that.
On the horizon.
There's a scale you can use. It's called the Bortle scale.
Wow.
I think 1 being the best, I think 8 or 9 being the worst.
Yeah.
I think when you're when on Highway 60, when you're facing south, which is what this is, I think Algonquin ranges about like a Bortle 4, I think.
Wow.
On the north end of the park, sort of thing, you're probably getting more into like a Bortle 3 area, or maybe Bortle 2.
Okay.
So that you're getting more of a pure dark sky. You've got no light pollution from towns around it, sort of thing.
Right.
So that yellow on the horizon is a town that's lighting up the sky.
Yeah. Oh, it's actually when you sit and you actually look at the dark sky, you begin to understand that, wait a minute, that's Halliburton, that's Deep River, that's North Bay. It's very faint, but you know, when you do this enough and when you appreciate it, you can tell that there's a town, right?
I've been to a Bortle sky once. This is back when I was a teenager before I photographed.
Wow.
I was on a family vacation to Cuba. And we went to Santiago de Cuba for a day trip.
Yeah.
On the way back, it was nighttime because when we left, and we ended up getting a flat tire. And it was in the middle of the road, in the middle of nowhere.
Wow.
And like say, all he had were the lights on the van, which he had to turn off to try to do something, sort of thing. So it was a completely black area. Like say, I've never seen stars like that in my life.
Wow. I think the best stars that I've seen in my life was in Grand Bend National Park in Texas. I think that very, very little development, and then the Gulf Coast is there as well. So just a black expanse of nothing, right? Yeah.
So this is one of my earlier attempts at Milky Way and stuff like that. So I'm still learning and stuff like that at this point. And it's on my old D610. So like say, I had a little bit of trouble with the focusing here. So it's not the best shot in the world, but it's every step of your process is a way to get better.
Yeah, well, you're speaking very humbly, because I think that this is absolutely stunning.
Say go to the next one.
Okay, let's do that then. Let's go to the next one. Oh, all right. Okay, and there's a few comments coming in here as well. Okay, Susan says, sorry, I don't use Lightroom. Okay, well then, we're gonna have to figure that out. Barren Canyon, says Susan. Okay, you have some good night skies from Barren Canyon. It's awesome, says Susan again. Saw images from night shooting. Wendy is saying here, best dark sky that Wendy's seen, Lake Nipissing, facing southwest, and in Jasper, where it is a dark sky preserve. That's so cool.
So this is another Milky Way shot. This is again on Opeongo. It's kind of the first pond area after the bridge, the first bridge, and facing south. And this is with one new mirrorless system, and because of the screen on the back, I'm able to get the focus a little bit better. So like I said, I'm a lot happier with this picture than I am the previous one.
Yeah. Wow, that's incredible. You know what? I think I can see what you're saying. Yeah, I think I can see the
the focus was a little softer on that previous one.
Yes, yeah. That's I'm not a well-seasoned dark sky photographer, but that's something that I haven't figured out, is how to get the focus right.
It's a challenge. Like say, live view is was really helpful with that, so that you can make sure you can zoom in and make sure the stars are perfectly sharp. Yeah. Wow, and just the amount of detail in that night sky, just amazing. Yeah. Susan writes in, looking west away from the town of Jasper is the best. Okay, yeah. I have to visit Jasper, clearly. And then Susan also says, awesome, Richard. So you're getting lots of love from the audience here. Thank you, guys.
Ooh, okay. So is that a UFO?
Not technically, pardon?
Is that a UFO?
No, that is a meteor.
Okay.
So again, this is not technically a great shot. This is my first attempt at the Perseid meteor shower.
Wow.
So this is so it's just that the bridge just near Erie Road.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we love Erie Road.
Yeah. So this is that location.
Very cool. And so
like I say, so go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna ask what makes you critical of this photo?
Again, the Milky Way isn't as crisp and clean.
Yeah.
The tree's probably a little bit out of focus as well, but that meteor strike is just it's one of the first meteor strikes I've ever got photographed. So it's a really personal picture for me. I know it's not technically the greatest shot in the world, but it's just such a beautiful shot of that meteor strike. I say it just means a lot to me, sort of thing. So it's one of the ones that, while it may not be technically great, I love it.
Yeah, and you know what? The way you explain that really gives me goosebumps, because I think you hit the nail on the head in that, yeah, technically it's not the most proficient of all night sky shots that you've taken, but that event in that photo that you captured there with that meteor, that's what just makes it so special, right?
Yeah, it was the biggest meteor strike that night, and I happened to be facing that direction, so I got it in my camera, because there's many times you're photographing the Perseid meteor shower and you're pointing this direction, the meteor's right there.
Yeah, right? Oh, it's like you need 4 cameras set up in all the angles, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's always challenging when you've got this going over there and this crap. You can't move the camera, because the moment you move that camera to that location, that's when the meteor's going to go that direction.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Okay, yeah, Susan says...
I saw a comment from Wendy that the Perseid in August. That's correct, yeah. The Perseid meteor shower is in August.
Yeah. Susan also says you should be proud, and I think Richard is proud of this one. I would be too. I wish I had something like that. That is so cool.
Yes, I do have a second one. I forgot. After seeing this one, I should have included that one, where it's again at this location, but it's another meteor strike that was pretty big, but it's kind of lining up with the Milky Way, and it is actually a little bit better focus and stuff like that. But this is my first.
Yeah, absolutely.
You never forget your first.
You never forget your first, and you got to start somewhere.
Yeah.
And still, like you said, the special aspect of that, of you capturing that meteor, that just supersedes all of the technical imperfections.
Yeah, it's very true.
Yeah.
So this was at Fisherman's Point. I can't remember which meteor shower this was. I can't remember which meteor shower it was, but you got a little meteor strike there just before the clouds were rolling in and stuff like that.
Yeah. Wow. That's really cool. Yeah, I like that, because most dark sky photographers are just going for pure dark sky, but I like how you just added this curtain of clouds in that upper half of the left there.
Well, I really didn't add it myself. I just continued shooting with it rolling in.
You composed it that way, let's say.
That's right. So,
that's what I meant.
It was a lot of blowing, but I managed to get them in their place.
Oh wait, do you control the clouds?
Sometimes.
Do you accept bribes?
It's the power of Nikon.
Amazing. Yeah, it adds another level of texture, says Wendy. I completely agree. And Susan is laughing out loud. Yes. Yeah. All right. And I think, all right. Oh, yeah. We're going all out. This has to be an unidentified flying object.
This is Comet Neowise.
I'm wrong again.
Right, not. No unidentified flying objects there. They're all identified. So this was Comet Neowise when it was here last year.
Yeah.
2 years ago? At some point in the past when it was here.
Yeah, whenever that was, yeah.
Yeah, so I was meeting up, I eventually met up with some other people that night, but I started off at Turtle Rock.
Yeah.
And was getting the shot there, and this shot, we've got Neowise in the sky, and on the ground below, it's starting to get, the ground is starting to get a little bit misty and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And you see a little bit of light from the trees there at the bottom, sort of thing. There's a car coming back from the store at the Opiama store.
Yeah.
So it was just starting to light up the ground around it, sort of thing. So that's where you get that glow on the ground, which I think kind of really enhances the shot myself.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, that glow on the ground. Yeah, I can see that. Very cool. What time would this be? Is this early in the night?
This was probably, I'm going to guess, I was probably around 9:30ish, 10 o'clock.
Yeah, and when I look at this, it feels a little bit more early.
Yeah, so you're probably looking at blue hour here.
Blue hour. Okay, so there's an actual phrase to describe that then.
Yeah, so you got, like, most people know golden hour, which is that hour before after sunrise or before sunset.
Yeah.
Once the sun sets, you enter into blue hour, which is the hour after sunset or before sunrise.
Right. Yes. Yeah. Very cool.
And then like there's astronomical twilight, nautical twilight, and then night. I
gotta catch up on all my dark sky lingo here. Wendy says, I wish we had digital cameras when Halley's Comet came in the 90s. Yeah, I definitely did not have a digital camera.
It's coming back.
Is it coming back? Is that what it does?
Yeah, it's on a loop. It's like a 70, 80 year loop, but it's coming back.
When?
I'll say if it was in the 90s, it was here last time, so 70 years, so 2050-ish.
Okay. 2050, okay. I hope I'm alive to see that. Yeah. Susan says, yes, that was a good one too, Wendy. Ah, okay. So somebody saw that one. I can't recall where I was for that comment that visited us in the 90s.
Yeah, so, there was the Comet Hail Bop too, I think, in the 90s as well.
That was a big one.
I remember going out and seeing sort of thing.
Yeah. Ooh.
So I finished up with some wildlife that I get in the park, and it's one of the things. The gray jays are always so common and so iconic for the park. This was taken on Spruce Bog Trail. I was out birding one day, and this is sort of, I think this is probably like late winter sort of thing, maybe sort of thing. So just on that, say there's the main spot where there's some feeders and stuff like that. Then you start walking out on the boardwalks. This was along the boardwalk there.
Yeah.
He jumped up on one of the spruce trees there, and I just grabbed the shot because don't usually see them out that like in that particular location. Usually they're in close to the feeders looking for people to feed them.
Yeah. Wow, amazing bouquet right there. I mean, it is just
the trees in the background are that far nice far away that you can get that nice blur in that. So this is one of my favorite shots of the gray jays that I've got.
Wow. Is this with the telephoto as well?
Yeah, this is my 2 to 500. 2
to 500. Okay, gotcha. Ooh. This species, I'm gonna let you tell us.
It's the pine grosbeak.
I was heading towards the grosbeak. Yes. Okay.
This is on Opeongo in the winter. They close off the road at a certain point, and there's a little bit of a parking area there where you can park and do some birding there. And this was some pine grosbeaks that I saw. For my first time seeing pine grosbeaks was I think one of the first time I saw a pine grosbeak.
Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong. That's a fairly significant sighting. I mean, it's an uncommon bird. Maybe it's not as common as a chickadee. Correct.
Correct. To say that it's not that they're. I wouldn't call them rare, but
right.
Uncommon. I say uncommon would probably be a good term for that.
Yeah, that's what I would think. Yeah. Very cute, very beautiful, and I love that you got just there's a little bit of snow on that branch too.
Yeah, I placed it there perfectly.
Yeah, just like the wind that you blew.
That's right.
In the clouds, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Susan says, awesome lens.
Yeah, I love that lens.
Yeah. Okay, and then Susan also adds, they go north to breed, so we don't see them in the summer, and that makes a lot of sense. And that's the amazing thing about birding is the change of the seasons will bring you a whole different cast of birds.
Absolutely.
Right? They move, and Wendy adds, they move further north in the summer months. Yeah, right. Oh, look at that. I love how the water on the loon, it just wicks. That's so cool.
Yeah. I think this one had just popped up from kind of swimming underneath sort of thing. So that water beating on it was just beautiful, and the sort of the backside light sort of thing just kind of really highlighted it. This was on the Tim. This was the loon I said I've shot loons on the Tim River. Yeah. Or Tim Lake. This is one of those loons that I shot.
This is the Tim Lake loon. Very cool. I can just get lost looking at those stripes and those dots in the loons on the feathers there. Just unbelievable.
Yeah, so there's just such almost like a regal bird sort of thing.
Oh, so regal. Yes.
And like that cry they do is so haunting and stuff like that. It's just I love hearing it.
It goosebumps. That's all I can say when I hear that. Oh, just total goosebumps. This shot I'm trying to guess what time. Is this an evening shot? It's
No, this is more. This is a morning. This is probably like sort of 9 o'clock-ish in the morning, sort of thing.
9
I would
o'clock.
guess.
Okay. I don't
9 o'clock,
see
something.
a hint of sunlight. So it was overcast.
I think there was a slight overcast.
Slight
through
overcast,
The day.
yeah.
Or the sun was just like say maybe the sun was just starting to get rising over the trees and stuff like that. It was
Yeah.
like a fairly early shot in the day, sort of thing.
Yeah. Of course, since you're an early bird, right?
Yeah, like Susan said, I just saw Susan did a post. It's also in the shadows as well.
Oh, maybe that's then. Okay, maybe that's what my eyes are picking up. Yeah, so it's probably in the shadows. You're right. Yeah, haunting, pure magic. Says pure magic. Absolutely, they are massive up close. Loons are bigger than you think. Yeah, you're correct. And Susan also says, Richard, we need to go kayaking. So maybe you have a kayaking plan in the works here.
Well, I want to get out there soon because I haven't got kayaking yet. It's a little bit later than I usually get out for my first kayak.
Yeah. Hey, just for the record, I went swimming today in the Madawaska River right here at the mouth of Galleri Lake. It was beautiful.
Was it brisk?
You know what? It was not as. I've had more brisk dips. I could have stayed in for 5 minutes, I think.
Oh, okay. Well, that's not too bad then.
Yeah, no, it wasn't too bad at all. It was very, very refreshing. Oh, and then of course everybody's favorite is there an animal more goofy looking than a beaver?
Absolutely not. Well, maybe a platypus, but we don't get those here.
We don't get. This is as goofy as we get here with our.
Yeah, this is a Canadian platypus.
There you go. It's so round. You just want to like dribble it like a basketball or something. It's so cute.
Yeah. Yeah.
So tell us about this image here.
Basically around kilometer 54 in the park.
Yeah.
This was taken probably about 4 or 5 years ago, sort of thing. But I just forgotten to add it there and had actually just processed it this year.
Yeah, I love that. I love that you can keep your archive and then you can go back in time and then you rediscover these images that you took so long ago.
And say sometimes maybe a shot that you've taken in the past that you couldn't do anything with it. The software and stuff like that in a position now where you can get something out of it this time.
Exactly. Yeah. My partner asks me all the time, why don't you just delete? You're not doing anything with those. I have way too many hard drives. I've got like 10 hard drives, right?
Yeah.
And she's like, why don't you? And it's like I can't because I can go back just like you did. Perhaps I learn a new software skill and then I can really bring something out that I wasn't able to previously, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. No, it's very, very true.
Yeah. The great thing about this image is that you've got the beaver over top of the white snow. And so that contrast is so good, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so the fun thing about this shot, when I think back, sort of thing, there was a bunch of people that were getting together that day. So, like, say, as we were started out, like, say, I met this person, then I met that person. Eventually, we went to have dinner at Steve's that night.
Yeah.
And I think that there was a table of almost 15 of us at Steve's restaurant who got together and were chatting and after shooting the day, and then we went out and shot night sky stuff that night. And that night is when I got my first Milky Way shot that was somewhat decent.
Wow. Talk about an awesome community.
Sometimes that picture just reminds me of that day that I had and just all the people that I met, and it was just such a nice day.
That's great. Okay, and there's a bit of sunlight hitting the beaver on the right side of it there too, right?
So this is around sunset sort of thing. So I think this was probably shot, I'm guessing, around 5:30, 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
I think we're just kind of end of February, beginning of March sort of thing, I believe.
Yeah.
So we're getting the west light hitting it. Pardon?
Darkness falls fast at that time.
Yep. Yeah, it does. So, like, say it's getting lit from behind in the western sky,
mm-hmm.
Where the edge of the water was, the beaver's lodge was on the other side of the pond.
Yeah. Awesome. Susan says, yes, we learn more all the time. I cannot agree anymore. Yeah, I think you're absolutely correct. That's the other thing.
Always learning.
Always learning. Yeah, it's photography is like continuously learning and improving in a language.
Yeah.
Right? And then when you get together with other photographers, you can practice that language, right?
Very much so. Yeah, true. So, Mr. Pine Martin, they're always so fun to photograph, sort of thing. They've got this very inquisitive eye and face, sort of thing, and curiosity that's always fun to photograph.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think where this one was photographed. I'm guessing it's probably at Mule Lake. I'm going to guess.
Yeah.
I can't remember which one it was. Typically, we'll see Pine Martins in 3 locations when I'm shooting. It'll be either Mule Lake, it will be on Opeongo at that sort of birding area, or it will be at the visitor center sort of thing sometimes as well.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess we'll see some in Spruce Bog. You know what? This is probably the Spruce Bog.
Yep, they have been at Spruce Bog. Susan says it's the assassin. And I've heard that these creatures are cute, but they can also be extremely vicious, right?
Oh yeah, no, I wouldn't want to pet one.
and you wouldn't want it to be hanging out with your house cat either, right?
No, like I say, when you see it open its mouth, they've got teeth.
Yeah, right. You and again, they're so adorable, but yes, they are carnivores, right?
Yeah, yeah,
yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah, everybody loves the Pine Martin.
Yeah.
Ooh, here we go. Nice, very. You know what? In my portfolio, I still do not have a photo of a moose with antlers. I'm gonna guess this is later on in the season here.
This is in the fall of last year.
Yeah, I don't have a fall moose. I do not have a picture in my own portfolio of a moose that has the mature antlers. That's so cool.
This is my first shot. Well, no, okay. This was last year was the first year I'd gotten moose in the fall with like male moose with the antlers.
Wow.
I've had lots of female moose throughout the year.
Yeah.
I think I've got one shot of a male moose earlier in the season where it's a little more velvety on the antlers.
Yeah.
But last year was the first year I managed to get shots of the moose in the fall with the antlers. This is probably like my 4th moose or 5th moose I saw that last summer.
Yeah.
Or last fall.
Yeah.
But like I said, just the way his head's turned and just the lighting on him, one of my favorite shots that I got last year as well.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. It's such a soft light. Like, is there any light here at all?
That day was completely overcast.
Wow. Yeah. Beautiful. Yeah, Susan says, hello there, handsome.
And actually, let's say this shot in black and white, I sold this shot in black and white to someone.
Cool. Good for you. That's so cool. Well, congrats. That's amazing. Okay, Susan says he's about 3 years old. All right. And Wendy also adds, don't feel bad. I don't have a moose photo at all. And an otter. You're still looking for an otter photo too, Wendy, if my memory serves me right. But that's the beautiful thing about this hobby, is that this is what keeps us going, right? That opportunity for me to get a mature antler moose, it's gonna happen. I just gotta stick with it, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's taken me 10 years to get that shot of the moose, and I finally got him.
Wow. And it's worth the wait. It's worth the perseverance, right?
Absolutely.
So I think that this is the final one of the set that you had sent me.
This will be my final one coming up here.
Wow. I'll let you take this one away. I don't have this kind of bird either in my collection.
This is a little saw-whet owl.
How cute are they?
Very cute. Very small. Like I say, it's probably a little bit bigger than your fist.
Fist.
Yeah. It's like when I was with Wes and there were 2 other guys with us.
Yeah.
We were following what appeared to be like a little bit of a moose trail sort of thing. We thought we were going to be hopefully coming up to a moose.
Yeah.
Well, Wes was kind of leading on and put his hand up where it was going around a tree, and something flew out of the tree. And when we initially saw it, we thought it might have been a gray jay.
Yeah. So
it flies into the tree that it's sitting in there, and all of a sudden Wes is kind of hyperventilating, going, and it's pointing, and all of a sudden we're looking at it. It's the saw-whet owl. So all of a sudden cameras go up, and all you hear is machine gunning going off, trying to get shots of this owl.
Wow.
So, he was stood in that branch for probably about 2-3 minutes or anything, flew up to another branch, and we got some more shots on that at that point, and then we kind of backed off sort of thing, so we didn't want to stress the bird too much.
Of course, yeah. Oh, and that's very important, right?
Yeah.
But wow, so they're that small, and how with this bird uncommon, right? Like, how often do birders and photographers come across the saw-whet owl?
I know they're out there and around. This is my first experience in the wild with it.
Yeah.
I know people say they can hear them around. I don't know how common or uncommon they are in the park.
Right.
I know south of here they're probably maybe a little bit more common than in the park potentially maybe.
Yeah.
We just lucked out that day and
yeah.
Got my owl.
Talk about a jackpot. Wow. Yeah, Susan says not often enough. I know. I hear you there. Susan also said beer can owl. Okay, so maybe it's as tall as a beer can, maybe.
It's a tiny little owl.
That's unbelievable. Yeah. And this is also on Susan's list, as it is mine. The thrill of the chase, says Wendy. I totally agree. Wendy also says owls in general are hard to find. It took me 42 years to find one. Wow. Susan says, I've heard the saw-whet, but never seen them. You know what? I have not visually seen a saw-whet with my own eyes, but I have heard them. Yes, I love their call. It's just the boop, 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 something like that. It's so adorable.
So yeah.
Yeah. And I think it's I know sometimes when owls get reported, then the masses arrive and then they end up getting harassed, and so I know that we as photographers need to be very conscious and sensitive about that too.
The four of us that saw that owl, we never gave out the location of that owl.
Yeah, and even in birding practice, as I've learned, is that if people do report owls, they anyways, on eBird, this is what I've heard that they do, is that they don't report the specific location, but they'll just give the general area, and often they will also delay that announcement as well, so that the bird may have already been disappeared by the time it's announced, right? And Susan says, yes, so sad. Yeah, it is, but that's why we as the HOWL organizers, we feel it's really important for us to grow this community with this like-minded group of photographers that understand why it's important not to harass the animals, right? Yeah.
No, very true.
Yeah.
And, so you got to be respectful because it's such a magical time. You don't want to potentially kill the bird because sometimes people give out a location and people say too many cars will get there. That stress the owl out. It'll fly out, potentially hit a car.
Yeah.
Someone unethical will go throw mice out there and try to feed the owl and end up killing it when it tries to fly down. It's just you gotta be careful who you share any information with.
100%. Yeah. Wendy says, I will not report them on eBird or iNaturalist. Yeah. And there's something cool about that it's that moment is really frozen in time, right? In that sense. Yeah, amazing. All right, and the last comment I'm gonna make is the composure. I think you really nail the composure here. It's between. I love how it's framed between those two trees, and then that beautiful bokeh effect there on the right.
Yeah.
Just
I didn't have a lot of choice in how it happened, so because I was kind of standing where I was, got a few shots, maybe stepped a foot away, sort of thing, just to kind of get a little bit different angle. But when you got four people in a narrow space, and you don't want to stress the bird out, you got to be very careful, and you just gotta take what you get. The one thing I don't like about that, there's this little stick that kind of wraps around his head, sort of thing. I wish the stick was not there, but you got to deal with what you got.
That's right. I mean, you could spend 48 hours cloning that out, but
yeah, I don't think I want to waste that time.
Exactly. Yes, I'm with you on that.
It is kind of cute with the stick in his tree in his head as well too.
I think you've done really well here, given the challenges that you've been the way you've composed this. The branch is almost cradling the head of the owl, right? So So it's
It frames it nicely.
It really does, yeah. And above all else, like we were chatting earlier, you know, you've got your saw wet number 1, and now the thrill of the chase is the next time I see this owl, will I be gifted with the perfect view, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
Right? And that's what you can chase next time, right?
That's absolutely true. Absolutely true.
Yeah, Susan says, awesome shot. It's part of nature. I 100% agree. And I really do wish that more photographers were cognizant of that, too.
Yeah.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much
You're welcome.
for today's presentation. We had so much fun chatting and also just seeing all of your beautiful images as well.
Well, thank you.
Super. So yeah, you're more than welcome to hang out on the Google Meet here. So we have Steve Dunsford, but we also have... we've got Wendy, who I think just emailed me some photos here. Let me see if I have those. And if we can get Wendy here impromptu, then hey, we could totally try that. Let me get my correct... give me a second here. And here, I'm gonna change our scene up here. We'll let Richard take a break, and let's go with our... All right, here we go. Here's my main scene. And Susan also says, you focus on the eyes. Yes, that's the goal, right? You want to try and see if you can hone in, see the soul of the animals in the eyes. Okay, and I do have... Okay, you know what? Let's do, before we do Steve, let's say hi to some... let's say hi to Wendy here. And okay, you know what, Wendy, this is what I'll do. I'm gonna send you the Google link. I'll let you enter, and then as I'm just loading up your images, you can maybe give us a little introduction to what you're gonna show here today. And so yeah, so because Susan had some tech issues there, we're gonna have Wendy pop on really fast, and then we're gonna go and say hi to Steve Dunsford. Just give me a second here. Okay, and Wendy can hear me. Awesome. Where's my Google Meet here? Perfect. So for everybody out there, Steve, you're on the line. Do you want to say hi for a second here to the audience?
Yeah, unfortunately, sadly, I didn't get to see Richard's presentation because I can't log into Facebook because they kicked me off Facebook.
They kicked you off Facebook? What did you do?
I don't know. They don't tell you. I think it was when I said that the Toronto Maple Leafs suck, and maybe somebody got offended to that.
Oh no.
I'm not sure. They don't tell you. So I did appeal it, but I haven't heard anything.
Yeah. Well, all
I don't know.
right.
I guess I'm just one of those bad people, right?
Yeah. Oh, you're just so bad.
Yeah.
So you were in Ottawa today, it sounds like.
No, it ended up getting changed. That's why I could do this, because it's going to be next Tuesday now. I wasn't able to go today, unfortunately.
Okay, yeah. And is it errands that you're running?
Yeah. I got to pick up some equipment and a few things, and errands for the restaurant.
Okay, that was my next question, was for the restaurant business.
Yeah.
And how's everything at the Mad Musher these days? Are you noticing more crowds, more people?
Yeah, definitely. Like last weekend didn't drop off nearly as much as what I thought. The weekdays are fairly quiet.
Yeah.
But last weekend was pretty busy. Like the long weekend was busy.
Yeah.
Of course.
Of course, that's a given.
Then usually business drops off like after that, but no, it stayed pretty good. The only unfortunate thing is I only have enough staff to open 5 days a week right now. So hopefully a couple more staff between now and July. Otherwise, it's just Wednesday to Thursday, so it kind of sucks. But
yeah,
it is what it is.
It is what it is. At least, hey, we'll take 5 days of Mad Musher over no days of Mad Musher. So,
right.
And you know what? We've really enjoyed the new menu items. We've ordered a couple times at least, here. Hey, we'll take 5 days of Mad Musher. Oh, that's my voice there. But anyways, like I was saying, menu items. Oh yeah, if somebody has
Wendy's online.
Wendy's online. So just
no worries.
Just mute the Facebook stream there.
I can't get on Facebook, so
that's okay. Yeah, you probably can't hear it.
Wendy's
Wendy's online, so just
Oh, no worries.
just mute the Facebook stream. Somebody's mobile there is.
Wendy's online, so just.
No worries.
Okay, I think it's good now.
I just muted Wendy, sort of thing, so that wasn't coming through.
Oh, okay. Perfect. Awesome. All right, and so yeah, we do have Wendy here. Thank you, Wendy, by the way, for agreeing to come in here impromptu to show us some images. I was able to download them, and I'm gonna get your image on here in a second. So yeah, that was just me chatting with Steve, co-organizer of HOWL, and yeah, but don't go anywhere because we're still gonna see some images from Steve in a bit here. But for now, let's get Wendy on screen. Wendy is on screen. Okay, all I need to do now is just wait. I will get her photos on here in just a second. Where are we here? Give me a second. Oh, where did I save them? Where did I save them? Oh, sorry. Oh, is that it? I'm looking. Aha! I found it. I found them. Okay. All right, and we're gonna get this on here in 1 second there. Everybody in the audience, just wait 1 second. Make sure I get the right folder here. Okay. Ooh, some of these are really, really neat. Okay, Wendy, are you able to hear me? Oh, can Wendy hear me? Oh, maybe try to unmute. I don't know if you're muted at the moment. Oh, I think Wendy's muted. Let's see here. You can't.
Oh, there it goes.
Okay, I can hear you. Yes.
Okay, we're good.
Awesome. Hey, thank you again for doing this on zero notice.
That's why I always have a few files ready.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, and yeah, so it's too bad we weren't able to see the rest of Susan's presentation, but that's okay. Our next photo stream will start off continuing with that one, and for now we've got Wendy here, so let's hear it. So what are we looking at here?
So this was, I believe, it's not a sundog, but it was something very similar. Like there was no clouds, like very few clouds in the sky. There was absolutely no rain. And all of a sudden we've seen this this very short rainbow in the sky. It was kind of bizarre.
Yeah. Surreal, right? That is.
Like it was literally just.
It looks like
what looked like a few inches in, at most.
Yeah, it looks like a dream. So cool. And the way it's framed, just perfect.
Well, unfortunately, we had so much bush in that because it was quite low to the horizon, and we seen it in the sky, and we're kind of driving along this road, and we're like trying to find an opening. So it was pretty tight, and we're like, oh, I can see it. Okay, just enough.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
And it didn't last that long.
Oh, and that's the thing, right? The moose or the wolf or whatever it is will appear, and you've got seconds, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like if you don't take the shot, it's gone.
It's absolutely gone. Yeah. Wow. Oh, that's so cool.
Even if you don't get a great shot, take the shot.
That's right. Yeah, because who knows? It might look better than you think. And
or you know what? That could be the only time you ever see that. And
exactly. Even in the birding community, I know that they call it a record shot. If you get
and I do it all the time.
Yeah.
Like even if it's a horrible shot, it there's enough for ID. It's good for me.
That's it. Enough for ID. Hey, that's like a nice catchphrase right there.
Yeah, I had that with a Virginia rail this spring.
Cool.
And they are hard to shoot.
I don't even know if I've seen that.
They're quite small, and they stick to the thick, like the really thick brush.
Yeah.
And they will not come out. They're super skittish.
Yeah.
And like half an hour, I'm like, you know, trying to get like a better angle, and you know, I didn't want to get too close, but yeah. Eventually had like a 6-inch area where there was, you know, just a little bit less brush, and he came out and I got a shot, but unfortunately my focus was just above his head, so he was all blurry.
Oh, that's so painful. I know exactly how that feels.
But again, I had enough for a species ID, so.
Yeah, that's good. Okay, so Susan's asking, Mew Lake Airstrip, ?
Yes, it is. This was the one time I actually camped in Algonquin Park. We were camping at Mew Lake.
Yeah.
It was late September, and this whole field was just covered in frost.
Yeah, amazing.
It was, and there was mist in the first thing in the morning. We were hoping to find maybe some moose.
Yep.
I had actually heard wolf pups. I think the night before, so it was like it was an amazing week.
Wow, so cool. And I love this yellow mushroom here. Talk about
this
amazing contrast.
This is a fly agaric, so this is quite poisonous.
Okay, for the I never eat wild mushrooms because I don't have the knowledge to know what's gonna kill me and what's gonna taste good.
Well, from what my sister has told me, like, if you take a plant, you'll probably get really sick.
Yeah.
If you eat the wrong mushroom, it will kill you.
Wow. Yeah.
There's no forgiveness.
No forgiveness. Yeah. Wow.
I don't forage myself unless I'm with an expert.
Exactly. Yeah, and I think that's a really good way, a good philosophy when it comes to that. Yeah.
I even had an opportunity to harvest some chicken of the woods, which is considered a choice edible.
Okay.
And it wasn't in the right location as far as accessibility. Like, a dog could have peed on it. It was really close to the trail, and I'm like, you know what? No. Yeah. As tempting as it is, it's not worth it.
Yeah. So because it's so poisonous, does nothing eat it at all?
I don't know if there are insects that have adapted to that.
Yeah.
I don't think the anything in the mammal family, or even like squirrels and rodents, will touch them.
Yeah.
But as far as insects, I don't know.
Yeah. Neat. Thought I would ask you. Sometimes you know.
Well, yeah, because some animals can adapt to certain things. What we might consider poisonous is perfectly fine to another species.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh wow, talk about mist.
So this is Mom's favorite spot. This is on the Tim River.
Nice.
We headed out first thing in the morning, which is very rare for me.
Hey,
I'm
night owls unite.
And then there was 2 geese flying in the thing, and it was just like magic.
Just magic, yeah. Now this is on the river, not Tim Lake.
Correct.
Okay.
So this is on the river before you get into the lake.
Yeah. Now, is that an annual trip that you do over to the Tim area?
This was actually the first and only time I've done that. I know my mom and possibly Richard probably do this at least once a year, probably a couple if they can.
Yeah,
that is correct.
This was my first excursion.
There you go. Oh, we heard Richard there confirm that. Yeah, just beautiful. And you know, it's these magical little snippets of time, of these moments with those 2 geese that turns this image from a good image to an exceptional image, right?
Exactly.
Just they
timing was everything in this.
Timing. Yeah. Susan says, as much as we can. Oh yes, what a morning, right, Wendy?
Yeah. It really was.
Yeah. Oh, we have Shirley here who says, I'd love to go there. Oh, Shirley, yeah, you would love the Tim River. And it has its own access point. I've been there. I've been to the Tim River once. And I did a camping trip just south of Tim Lake. It's about 3 portages that take you to these tiny beaver pond lakes. And I camped there in the. It was actually May 24. It was black. It was thick of black flies. The peepers were out. It was very spring-like. So yeah, if you, I recommend the Tim River for wildlife for sure, especially in the spring. The thicker the black flies, the better the wildlife. Yeah. All right. And what about this one right here?
So this one here was actually technically not taken in Algonquin, but if you were to, so this image would be facing north.
Okay.
This would actually take you into Algonquin Park. So it was taken off Highway 35.
Yeah.
So this is actually, just a very small lake. Just before the red, like the colors really started to come on. So this is probably early September.
Beautiful. Love the reflection.
I'd like to say.
You could see that little bit of red just starting.
Yeah, just starting. So
yeah, that's so cool. It really makes you do a double take. You're like, wait, am I hallucinating that it's changing color?
It was really calm, and being so secluded, that little tiny lake, it was perfect.
Yeah, very cool. Now, so is this actually on the canoe route?
No, so this is private land, but if you were to hike through Crown Land, it would take you into
very cool.
Algonquin Park.
Very cool. Okay, Susan says near Fitzel Lake. It's like a
yeah, correct.
Cool. Very cool. Beautiful. Just a classic reflection. All right. Okay. And here we go again with the mist.
Yeah, so this was taken on the same morning as the other shot. So this was, again, the Tim River.
Nice. How dramatic is that? That's a dead tree in a
100%
bog, right? It's just such a great image, right? It's like a dead statue or something, like in the marsh, right? And it's so gnarly, and yeah.
I'd actually dub the photo "I Stand Alone."
I Stand Alone. Well, you can't think of a better title for that. Yeah. Okay, Susan says, yes again, my Tim. Okay, we were, yep, there you go. I Stand Alone. Very, very cool. Ooh, all right.
I was hoping at least a bird would have, perched on one of them. But
I know, right? But that's why you keep coming back, right?
Exactly.
The thrill of the chase.
And then the next photo there with the pine, that was taken the same morning as the mushroom.
Yeah.
But just a little bit later. So the sun finally started to come through, and all that frost ended up turning to more or less a dew. Yeah. And that morning glow coming through. I just thought it was beautiful.
Yeah, yeah. And I actually really love it just feels so soft and very dreamlike, actually.
Yeah.
Very dreamy.
Yeah, because there's still some mist, like fog in the air. So it really did soften up that light.
Mm-hmm. Very cool. Oh, wow. I don't know. This next image, I don't know how you do that. You're going to
this is a technique that my mom showed me.
Okay, let's hear all about it.
So all you need is a zoom type lens.
Okay.
And basically a slow shutter speed.
Oh.
Okay. And you set it to manual.
Okay.
And you basically zoom, like start with your lens zoomed out.
Okay.
Or reversed.
Okay.
And then you actually, while it's taking the shot, you zoom in or zoom out.
Cool. Now, does it need to be on a tripod?
This was handheld. However, tripod usage will give you better results.
Right.
Because again, a long shutter speed, any movement is going to shake.
Right, right.
However, I've been gifted with quite steady hands.
We talked about this last time.
Right. You can see a tiny bit of shake here, but very minimal.
Yeah. Wow. Very cool. I'm going to have to try that.
And it's so fun. Yeah.
Yeah. And so your subject here, we're looking at a forest with the sun behind the forest here?
Correct.
Okay, got you. Yeah. I think you chose the right subject for this technique.
Yeah.
It feels...
Yeah, it works really well in the forest. Probably the biggest thing is you don't want too much light because it does get amplified.
Right.
With especially using a longer shutter speed. So you generally want it to be quite darker than what...
Okay. I'll keep that in mind. By the way, speaking of new skills and everything, I actually had to do some food photography recently, and I was using a macro lens, and based on our conversation last time about boosting your f number way up.
Yep, your aperture. Yep.
I totally did that, and you know what? It was the best thing ever for me.
Yeah, because it gives you more of your subject in focus. Without it, it kind of just gives you like a nice soft spot, but you're not. It doesn't give you focus on your subject.
Exactly. Yeah. So I just wanted to tell you that, yeah, based on the conversation I totally used that knowledge that you shared
awesome.
In my own photo
that's what
shoot.
This is about, right? Is sharing skills and learning new techniques that, I've never tried that before. That's why I love these sessions, because you hear about these techniques and it's like, oh yeah, let me try that, and then you end up finding out it's like, oh wow, I love that technique, or I never thought of trying that. So
Exactly. Yeah, so, we were talking about this technique here, which I'm totally going to try. And from last time's session, yeah, I totally used the high f-stop technique with the macro. So yay, knowledge sharing.
Yay.
Yeah, okay, just a few comments coming in here. Okay, lens flare. All right. Got you. Yeah. And then Susan commenting on the previous photo. Very moody. So moody. Yes, absolutely. Shirley's also adding, Susan taught me that the first time I met her as well. Okay. So Susan's taught a whole bunch of people this technique.
Yeah. Well.
Very cool. I remember now, Shirley. Okay. Yep. Gives you just selective focus. Okay. Cool. That's pretty cool. All right. So yeah, you had just sent me just a little bit more than a handful of images, and I think this is the final one of the set. So let's hear all about it.
This was actually sent in as a triptych originally.
Oh yeah,
my camera club wanted to do this idea of doing triptych, so it's like a through panel image, and I'm like, each section in its own is a photo.
Yeah.
But as a whole, it really does complete the photo.
Yeah.
And this was actually taken at HOWL weekend.
Was it?
Yes, this was taken at the original HOWL weekend
in 2019.
Yeah.
When we were so innocent and we didn't know anything about pandemics.
Yeah, so we just stopped at this little pond and we seen those yellow tamaracks, and that water was just super flat, and we're like, yeah, we got to take some shots.
Yeah. The tamaracks, everybody goes goo goo gaga over the reds. Oh my god, I need the reds, but I love the tamaracks. I'll love the golden encore. It's just great. It's amazing, and it also makes me realize how many tamaracks there are out there, because I feel you don't think about them, or you don't even notice them all the time until they shine in their golden encore, right?
Yeah. And I believe this is the only conifer that does have a full shed of its needles every year.
And that's one of my favorite trivia facts of all time about Algonquin Park / trees. That's so cool. Yeah, and I love that people, when people attended HOWL, of course there's the whole the presentations and the food and the music and the socialization, but then people went into their people still went out and did photos too. So somehow people found the time and the energy to do photos on top of all that.
I think it was the last morning. Yeah. I think Sunday morning.
Yeah.
Was when we had set up those little groups for outings.
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome. Amazing. And of course, we'll be seeing you at HOWL 2022.
Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait.
Me too. I can't wait. And it's going to be even better this time around.
Yeah, some of the speakers are it sounds like the lineup's going to be amazing.
The lineup is we feel so lucky to have the lineup that we do. Yeah, we do. And now that we have our first one under our belt, we've got a better idea of how to make things work. So I think logistically things are going to be even better than they were. So hey, well,
that's the thing. Like you only learn by doing.
Exactly. And you know, Steve and I truly do want to thank everybody for sticking with us and returning to HOWL, the sequel of this 2022. So we look forward to having everybody again. Awesome. Okay, well that's little Wendy's cameo here today. Thank you so much for that.
Oh, you're welcome.
We appreciate that so much, and the fact that you did this all impromptu is just so cool. So
again, the benefits of having a few files ready to go.
There you go. Yep. Awesome. All right, so we're going to now switch cameras over to Steve. Steve, you're still on the call, right?
Yep, I'm still here.
All right. Okay. Great. And everybody else, you're welcome to stay on as well. And just before we begin, I'm going to get these moose downloaded here. Oh, it says error. Oh, come on. No way. Oh, darn. Okay. We're not having the best of luck here. Downloading for some reason. I do have 4 photos. I just don't have these moose here. Let me see. Is there a way for me to look at these? Okay, you know what? I think we can swing this. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to start off with these moose pictures here, Steve.
Yeah, unfortunately, I can't see them.
What I'll do, I'll do this. I'll describe them to you.
Yeah.
And then we'll try to make do with that.
Yeah.
Okay, so just give me 1 second here, everybody out there. I just got to switch over. We've been jinxed. We have been jinxed. I know, but despite that, we're gonna plow ahead though. We can figure this out. We're technical wizards here. All right. So our final presentation today, honoring Algonquin Park, starting off with some moose. Okay, so what we're looking at here, Steve. So this is a moose with some stubby antlers. The composition is the moose is on the left side, and maybe there's a lot of black flies and mosquitoes that I can see. So yeah, how do you want to talk about these images?
So anyway, yeah, since I'm not on Facebook right now, I thought I would all these photos I've taken in the last week or two.
Oh wow.
And, so there's 3 locations. The one I think you're talking about is Brewer Lake, maybe? It's the lake in the background of that one?
Yeah, I think it is. It's called Brewer Bull,
yeah.
So it's definitely Brewer Lake.
So there was, that was, I think, about a week and a half ago. Cool. And then the other location was Hemlock last night, and that's the 2 brighter ones. Oh yeah, the ones you can't download. Yeah. Were you able to download the one with the 2 moose on the highway?
I'm gonna be able to see them. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So we're looking at the velvet one here. Susan says, "Nice bull in velvet." Yeah, I know. I love it. I just, it would be so unethical for me to actually pet the antlers, but I want to, but I would never ever do that. But I would love just to feel the softness of them.
So I was thinking, when you, like with the theme being honoring Algonquin, so for me, like to live beside Algonquin is an honor, because I've been to many places in North America that are amazing places, and in other countries around the world too. But Algonquin is one of those places that is amazing, and it's like it's our backyard.
Yeah.
And, so for me to honoring Algonquin is to what I try to do is to take these images to sort of show people what my experience is.
Yeah.
I mean, I do, night sky photos, landscape a bit, but mainly wildlife, because I just, I really like wildlife. And I mean, every shot there is a story. Every shot is about an experience, and it's there's some that try to portray the emotion or the feeling through an image. It's not always easy, but that's what I think the goal is for the photography part of honoring Algonquin, and that's what my attempt is to do. So anyway, yeah. So I mean these, and then I picked all these because they are recent photos.
Yeah, which is so cool. Like you said, it's an honor to live this close to the park, and
yeah,
what that affords you to do is to be able to have that many more opportunities to encounter wildlife, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Susan says it's in the blood for you, Steve. Yeah. So
yeah,
I've just scrolled through 2, 3. I think we're on the third image now. I think it's the same one as well. It looks like the exact same moose. Yeah. Okay. Now I'm on the image where it's moving, and wow, it has a cloud of flies around its bum.
Yeah. Yeah. The black flies are out. Mosquitoes are out too.
Yeah.
So,
oh, poor things.
and they love black.
They love black too. Yeah. Tip for anybody visiting Algonquin: wear bright colors in black fly season. It actually helps. And Susan also adds, "You are the true moose whisperer."
Thanks.
I think you're correct in that. Okay, now we're looking at the image with the 2 moose on the highway. When was that one taken?
That was last night. So
Last night.
So I saw 3 moose last night. I saw the bull at Hemlock, and then these 2. This was at near the Centennial Ridge Road. You can see the sign in the background.
Yeah, you can.
So these were actually yearlings that I'm pretty sure I photographed them about in late April, early May, the first week of May, with the mother, with the cow. And they, of course, around mid-May, the cows give birth, give or take a week or so. And they will, for a whole year, they stay with the mother, and the mother looks after them, keeps them safe. And then they kick them out, like they physically push them away, and then the cows push them, the yearlings away, and the cows head to their spots where they give birth. And it's generally the same spot. It's either an island or a peninsula, some kind of area where they can keep the newborn calves safe from predators. And so these 2 yearlings, it was getting late. The lighting wasn't fantastic. It was probably around 9 o'clock or so. And I saw them by the side of the road, and they were hanging out together feeding, and one would move like 20-30 feet, and the other one would come running back over, and they were like stuck together like glue. And I guess they figure that, well, they got to make it in the world now themselves. So luckily there's 2 of them, so they hang out. Like, it was a bull and a cow yearling too. And so I watched them. There was a few other people. It wasn't like a big moose jam. There's a couple other cars there, and I was photographing them. And eventually the cow decided it was time to cross the road, so she went first, and the young bull followed her. And like he didn't waste any time. He didn't let her get too far ahead. And then they spent some time on the other side of the highway for a bit, and then I left. It was getting pretty dark then. Yeah. So it was neat. It was neat to see them. They're a little bit nervous, but not that nervous. And they, as far as there's a lot of cows that just have one calf, and then the one calf is on their own. Although I did see once a cow with her yearling and young calf all together, which they did. So the yearling didn't get kicked out, or if it did, it came back, and the cow seemed to tolerate her yearling being. Then they're all walking side by side too, so it was kind of neat. I wasn't able to get a shot of it, but it was pretty neat to see that.
Very cool.
Yeah.
As nice as it is to see the moose in its habitat, in in the wilderness. I do like the imagery behind the moose juxtaposed with humankind's infrastructure, you know, with the road and the power lines and the dotted lines in the middle of the road, that all of that kind of stuff. It almost feels a little surreal in a way.
Yeah, and you really get I mean, these are younger, they're a year old, and they're not fully grown, but they're huge, you know, animals, and you really get to see how big they are when they come up onto the road, and it's just another good reason why people shouldn't be speeding on the highway and paying attention, because this happens a lot. I see it all the time, is crossing the highway.
Yeah. Yeah, Susan says on their own for the first time in their life. Yep. Yeah. That's it. You're a yearling. Get out of the house. Find a job, get a life. Need each other for security. Yeah, for sure. Strength in numbers, right?
And I saw in the same area maybe about 3 years ago, I saw a cow and a bull together, feeding together, and they were traveling together. And I'm sure they were twins, but they were, I think, even older. They were like 2 years, maybe 3 years old, still hanging out together, which is kind of unusual. But
very cool. Well, they've built some camaraderie, perhaps. Okay, so we've scrolled past the one with the road, and this looks like a close-up of maybe it's the Brewer bull. It looks like it had just fed, and it's got some slobber dripping from its mouth.
No, so that one's the other one I saw last night, and that was at Hemlock, and that was one of the big old bulls that hangs out in that area, and he was just drinking water like crazy, totally oblivious to the people. Every once in a while, he'd hear a vehicle and look over, and then he had enough after a little bit, and he turned around and walked into the forest. Yeah, pretty neat.
You can really see the humor in the shape of its face when it's got all of that water and slobber just falling out of its mouth. Very humorous.
Yeah.
Okay. And this is probably the same one.
Yeah, looking he's looking to the left there.
Looking to the left. Yeah.
Yeah, so the sun was still up a bit higher, so the lighting of the sun setting was lighting him up, which was kind of neat.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think he probably heard something down that way. It was looking over, and he was just kind of posing for us. There was about 5 of us photographing us. It was kind of nice because sometimes the moose jams can get pretty crazy, where you've got like 100 people, and they're all people like all over the place. It was the people there last night were pretty much all photographers. Sue and Chart, Paul and Wendy and Paul White were actually there. I ran into them.
Nice.
Photographing this.
Nice. Wendy's asking, is that cataracts or just light in the eyes of the moose?
One eye, I'm not sure. It is kind of whitish. Like I had another photo of it where where it's not lit up by the sun, and it's definitely whitish. So it could be cataract, or maybe got a stick in his eye or something. Quite often I see them. We see them that way. With one of the eyes, will have a white film over it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, so that those are all the moose photos from Steve. Now there's 4 other ones that we've got here. Just give me 1 second here to get them loaded up. Let me open this up. Photos. Just a second, everybody. I know you're waiting out there just to see it. It's not on the screen yet. I'm going to get there in 1 moment here. And here we go. Okay, so Steve, we are looking at the road again, but is that your hand in the photo?
Yeah. So those photos. So I was mentioning that taking photos was my way of sort of honoring Algonquin by trying to capture my experience and my feeling and emotion at the time, because it is a amazing place to be at times, and maybe not when it's so crazy busy, but if you can get off the highway hike somewhere where you're by yourself or with a couple of friends. It's pretty neat. So the other part where when I'm out there of how I'm trying to honor Algonquin, and I know other people like do, is like that was the road is there's actually a turtle on the road. That photo got cut off, and rescuing wildlife along the highway, because the highway is an unnatural thing in the park, and a lot of animals get killed, turtles get squished and stuff. So I, as a photographer and somebody who cares about wildlife, and other people that I know, friends of mine, Susan, Richard, and other people, that when you see an animal like a turtle, we stop and we take them off the road. And that's what I was trying to portray with those. They were just quick cell phone shots, and it was on the road. I picked it up and walked it across and put it on the other side where it was headed. And it's always nice to be able to do our part in the park to help out wildlife. And I came across a turtle that had been hit. Obviously the back end the shell was broken, so I put it in a box and called the Peterborough Kawartha Turtle Center. I couldn't go it was busy. I couldn't go all the way down to Peterborough, but I said I could go to Bancroft. And so I went there, and then they had somebody meet me there, and then that person took it from Bancroft down to Peterborough, and then I drove back up here. So and I had other friends, like friend of ours, Jesse. He found a fox kit that had been hit, and was it was fine, except it wasn't fine. It was it was injured in ways, but it was still alive. So they took it to Aspen, and it stayed there for a couple of months, and then was re-released back in the park. So I mean, to me, that's part of honoring Algonquin, right? It's like you don't want to interfere you can't interfere all in the interior, and that, I think, because nature should be nature. But when it comes to animals that are injured, or animals that like turtles that are on the road, that's a different situation, I think. And I think as somebody who cares about wildlife, and in a way to honor the park, is to help the wildlife along the highway.
Yeah. And where it's amazing that you do that, and it's great to hear that there's other people too that pick up the turtles, that move the turtles, and that help rehabilitate injured wildlife, especially. And it feels the worst when the wildlife has been harmed as a result of human activity. That always feels the absolute worst, right?
Yeah, I mean, like, nature is nature, and there's animals that die that we don't see, and are injured or wounded, and eventually will die or be taken by a predator. That's part of the natural cycle. But having a road in a park, and having people driving way too fast and passing on corners, doing stupid things, not paying attention, and not caring about animals enough to try to avoid them. Sometimes you can't, but generally, like that, to me, it's our responsibility as people, and especially as photographers in the park, to do as much as we can.
Yeah, exactly. And that's been the mantra of HOWL since day one. Yeah.
Ethical wildlife photography, right? And that's part of ethics to me, is not just being ethical capturing the image. It's being ethical to where you can help out an animal, you do. Yeah,
100%. Wendy, I'm just going to catch up on some comments here. Wendy says painted turtle. So that, I guess we'll take that as the ID on this one here. Wendy also adds, always move them the side they are heading to. That's actually a really good piece of advice right there. So everybody, remember, if you're going to help move a turtle, move it to where it's going. Not to, because otherwise, I guess you're just going to move it back to the starting point, and then it's going to try and exactly, and then it just has a whole other opportunity to get hit, right? Yep. Susan also adds, yes, respect for all her residents. Agree. Yes, for sure. Not interfering. Exactly. Yes. And actually, as we were preparing our presentation for today, Susan mentioned that it is the 129th birthday of Algonquin Park this year. So the big 130 is coming up next year, which will be pretty exciting. All right, let's take a look at our next photo. No, and you know what? Oh, here's another one. Yeah. Okay. Now I'm looking at the photo. So we were looking at the photo of the turtle in your hand, and here it is now on the road right here.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Look at that. And
so I picked it up and I
thing.
placed it on the other side of the road in the direction where it was heading. And some people think, oh, it's just one turtle, but you know what? It's still a life, and I think it was sitting on the road. It wasn't even trying to cross. It was almost like it was kind of a cool night, and it was trying to get the warmth off the pavement.
Right.
But not so good.
Yeah. Little does it know that there's some 18-wheelers headed its way, right?
Yeah. So anyway, I was able to save that one life, which is nice.
And that's great. It's as I've heard, reptiles and amphibians are very sensitive to ecosystem changes and to climate change and all that stuff. So, and yeah, these animals are important. It would be an absolute tragedy to lose them. Okay. Oh, here we go. We've got the return of the beaver in this one right over here. So when was this beaver shot taken?
This was on Opiongo Road.
Yeah.
There's a few good spots where there's beavers that are active, and this guy just decided to come up out of the water, and he actually is eating the leaves on the bushes. They do that at this time of the year. There's about a week or two where most of the time they're eating, like a lot of time they eat the bark off twigs and stuff.
Yeah.
But you'll find them, they'll come up and they'll eat grass, or they'll eat the leaves. And I've only seen it done in the spring.
Wow.
So eventually he sort of crouched over there eating some of the leaves, and he actually stood up full up and grabbed onto the tops of the bushes and started these higher up, which is pretty neat.
That's so cute.
Yeah.
And we have a really good perspective of the hand of the beaver here, and wow, like I feel like the beaver could do a lot with those hands.
Oh yeah, they're amazing. Like they have like almost like a hand like us, sort of.
It looks human-esque. Yeah.
They're totally opposite. They're completely webbed and great for swimming, but the front ones are very dexterous or whatever. Like they can move them around and grab onto things quite well.
Yeah. Yeah, Wendy's commenting here. Snakes are a common victim on roads too. They lay on the roads for the first few warm days to warm up, probably like that turtle that we were just talking about there.
Yeah.
That's too bad. Yeah, it's yeah. So, we were talking about how important it is to not speed when you're in these wildlife zones. One reason you don't want to hit a large mammal, but also you should be paying attention as well to any other of the smaller mammals, or rather reptiles or amphibians that might be on the road too, right? So yeah, please, everybody, drive super cautiously through Algonquin Park and through other rural areas. Okay, and I think we have one more image here from Steve's presentation, and we get a glorious sunset here.
Yep, that was at the beach in Whitney, I think. That was on, I can't remember, Friday night, Saturday night maybe.
Pretty recent.
Yeah, just recently. And I missed by the time I got out there, it was sort of the tail end of the sunset, which is sometimes nicer than the actual sunset once the sun goes down and it lights up the clouds. But
yeah,
I just thought, like, although I'm not in Algonquin, I'm looking at Algonquin because those hills in the background are actually Algonquin Park.
That's right.
I thought it was kind of neat. I don't often put man-made things other than the moose on the road in my photos, but I thought it was just kind of cool with those red chairs that we got last year.
Yeah.
And I thought it made the image kind of neat to put that in the bottom corner there.
I totally agree. Yeah, and just some beautiful yellows and oranges, some pinks and purples too. Beauty shot, says Wendy. Nice ending shot, says Susan. Yeah, I agree. What a great way to end it off. Super. Well, viewers, I hope that you feel like we've honored Algonquin Park honorably. I hope that you can feel that. And yeah, thanks again, everybody, for joining us today at our live stream. We heard from Susan earlier, whose presentation was cut a little short, but that's okay. We're going to start our next photo stream with Susan so that we can see the rest of her presentation. Thank you, Wendy, for popping in here impromptu. Richard, of course, thank you for your amazing presentation. And of course, Steve over here to bookend our show here today. We're, of course, going to continue doing these photo streams. We'll announce the next one probably toward the end of the week. So just keep an eye out on the Facebook HOWL Facebook page for when that's going to be. And all of the presenters that we enjoyed today, you're more than welcome to join us in the future ones. And if you're sitting out there watching and you feel like you have something exciting to show us, don't hesitate. You can reach out to us and express your interest in joining us. We're always excited to give other photographers the chance to present and to talk about their photos as well. Because of course, as the theme has been ongoing throughout our photo streams here, and as the theme is at HOWL Convention, and that is, it's a community. It's knowledge sharing, it's experience sharing, it's storytelling. And yeah, so honestly, I really do, from the bottom of my heart, want to thank everybody for joining us. Anything you wanted to say, Steve, as we're wrapping up here?
No, it was great that we are doing this, to have the presentations and have other people joining us. It's awesome. Hopefully next week I'll be able to see them. Maybe I'll have to create some kind of fake Facebook account or something, or unless we put it on YouTube and start streaming on YouTube. I'll be able to see it. We
could do that. Yeah, we could do that too, actually. Yeah, so you keep me posted, see if you can reactivate your Facebook or if you get a new Facebook account. But yeah, no, I should have the ability to stream to two locations at the same time. So that's something that we can definitely chat about. So all right, well, that's all from us. We're gonna wind down our stream here. For those of you on the Google call, you're welcome to hang out there for a bit. As I cue the stream ending scene, I'm gonna be quiet for about 60 seconds there, and then once we're finally offline, then I'll say goodbye to everybody in the Google chat. All right, well, everybody, you take care. Have a great